how do you top that? Those were my four grandsons and one granddaughter, and one granddaughter's missing, so I have five of my six. Those boys are so tall. They're as sweet as they are tall, but wasn't that a nice treat and surprise to hear them? So, oh dear, this is all, I'm just overcome with all the to-do. I'm gonna go home and take a nap, so don't anybody call me at my nap time. So, anyway, we really have had fun working on this. Jennifer Sampson just beats all, just start with that. I mean, look at all of this. And two of her top assistants have just been wonderful, and I've enjoyed working with both them. Susan and Catherine have been wonderful. They've come out to my house and we've had more fun. So anyway, let's see. Now, what was I going to? Well, you've already heard about how Tocqueville was formed. I had just agreed to be the campaign chairman like Troy Aikman has today, or recently he's going to be this year's campaign chairman. And I had agreed to do that, and about 2 or 3 weeks later, Joe Geis, who was the director of the of the United Way, and Bruce Lipshy, who was chairman of the board, called me to come to their office, and they said, "You know Tommy Frist in Nashville, don't you?" Well, I don't know whether I did or not, but anyway, I knew the Frist name, so I said, okay. They said, he started a Tocqueville. Well, they didn't even call it that in those days. He thinks there should be a society of this kind for the United Way. And we want you to chair it. And I said, chair it? I'm already chairing the whole city. What do you want? And well, they wanted that. So that's when my letters started. Were flowing with letters, and then I'd write a letter, go hide under the bed. I don't like to go in and confront people, so I'd mail it and then just hope something would come in. Well, $1 million did come in, so they talk about Ruthie and her letters. So let me see what I was going to tell you. Okay. There are several people in the audience today that, I mean, everybody here is a VIP, but there are several who are really on the, stars, and I want to introduce them because they're here and they're part of the United Way movement. First, I want to start with my friend Laura Bush. Laura Bush is the most remarkable woman I have ever met. She is just too good to be true, except she's true. It's real. She is a real person. And for the two of us to be such good friends in my later life, not hers, but we've just had so much fun, and what a joy she is. I think, when the Secret Service write books, which they all seem to do, the people they love are George and Laura Bush. I don't know what they've said about the others, but they're their pick, and you know why when you know them. Then next, I was sitting next to Dr. Gerald Turner, who is president of SMU. He took SMU from a good school to a great school. And it's just been amazing. You heard I've just been on the board till they don't know how to get rid of me. Don't tell him how to get rid of me, because I don't want to get off the board. They don't know what to do. So after 50 years, who's ever been on a board 50 years? Anyway, you've seen someone now who does. I was on the search committee that found him, and I just knew instantly that he was the one. And so anyway, I just from that moment on, I like to claim that I did it. Well, I didn't do it. I was just one of the, we had a chairman of the committee, and he was Jenkins. Junkins. He was head of Texas Instruments, and he was such a good, fair, everything. And the day they were going to vote, I said, let me be first. I said, I called him even. I said, let me be first on the committee. Be first to speak on all this. And then he said, no, you're going to be last. So I didn't know whether that was good or bad. But anyway, here he is, and you've been a fabulous, fabulous president. So, is Chief David Brown here? I can't see across this from here. Anybody? Is he here? Raise his hand. No? No, he couldn't come. I love David Brown. He's been such a hero since our terrible tragedy in July of last year, former police chief. So, yeah, let's hear it for David Brown. And let's fuss at him. The next time you see him, fuss at him for not being here. So Randall Stevenson's here. Where are you, Randall? Is he here? Stan, I can't see anything. Tell me, is he here? Yes. Okay. Well, Randall, since you have nothing to do except run the largest company in the world, I was glad you found him. You needed a break and to come over and have lunch with us. So. Anyway, we're really honored to have you here. Appreciate it. Is Ron Kirk here? Yes? Yes. Okay. Ron and Kirk and his wife, Matrice. Ron made a very good mayor of Dallas and later was in the cabinet of Obama. And his wife, Matrice, she's a lot prettier than he is, but she's just as good as he. She's got some big job in the community now. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, we always are grateful to the Kirks for Dallas, what they brought to all of us. So anyway, I'm going to close with I want to say something worthwhile. Not that this has been worthwhile, but something else. Okay. My father, my children, I brought my children up on the Bible and on Albert Schweitzer. His sayings are just so, they're just so deep and sincere, and they last forever. They're just, if you remember one of his things, it just goes on and on. So anyway, it talks about it. It says example. He said, example is not the only thing that influences others. It is not the main thing that influences others. It is the only thing. And I think that's so good, that example is the only thing that influences others. And so it makes, when I read that, I keep thinking, oh, my children are watching. Am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Am I taking them the right places? Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, you saw how good their children are, so we must have done something right somewhere. Anyway, but Dad, my mother and Dad were great examples. I was brought up in Dallas on Swiss Avenue, went to Woodrow Wilson High School, SMU, just Dallas through and through. I am so proud of Texas. I've always loved Texas. I've never wanted to leave Dallas. I mean, just Texas, what they have done for this horror that's called Harvey, it's just been, I can't imagine any other state doing anything like. We just respond so quickly. And you've already heard today how the United Way responds. My darling, adorable husband, raise your hand. Who's so? Ken Altshuler grew up in New Jersey. He lived there the first 18 years. So last week I said, do you think New Jersey would do this? And he didn't say a word. Sorry about that, baby. We won't blame you for New Jersey. Okay. Anyway, but my mother and father, I want to just tell you a little bit about Dad. He, when they were a young couple, they came to Dallas on their honeymoon and stayed here. Thank goodness, because I've loved Dallas. Okay. So he went to the one church, the Christian church, and Mother went to the Baptist church in Hallsville, Texas, where she was from. So when they married and moved here, they decided to go one and the other. Well, they didn't stay at his very long because Dr. George W. Truett was at the other church, the great minister. We always just thought he was God, and he did too, I think. But anyway, that's beside the point. So when my dad must have been 28 years old or something, he saw in this man something special, and he asked him to be a deacon. Well, Dad loved being a deacon at the First Baptist Church. This was a big deal, and he was just so carried away with all of it. So anyway, after he had been a deacon for a while, he and Mother would ride the streetcar to the Sunday night service, and they were there, and the deacon's on the front row. And so Dr. Truett gets up and said, we're going to have a capital campaign. They were back in 1918, campaigns, So anyway, so he said, I want each one of the deacons to stand up and say how much you'll give. No one's ever tried that yet. So he said, Dad stood up and said, I'll give $5,000. Well, in those days, that'd be like 50 or 500 or something. Mother was just gasping in the back. So when they left, she was just crying all the way home on the streetcar. And she just said, we don't even have $1,000. Where are you going to get all this $5,000? We don't have anything. What are you talking about? He said, I'm going to the bank tomorrow and borrow it. Just like that. And he did. But I was brought up in a home where your father would go to the bank to borrow money to pay the church. So I've just been, they've been such a wonderful influence on my life. And I've always be grateful for that. Well, so I'll end on one sentence. My older daughter and I kind of argue. She likes the example from Schweitzer, but she said her favorite example for Schweitzer is, I wanted my life to be my argument. That's so deep. If you figure it out, let me know. Anyway, thank you for today and yesterday and tomorrow and everything. Okay. So who's going to come take me down? Are we done?